This is your Math Gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic. In this video, we're going to learn how to evaluate trig functions using the trigonometric ratio definition. And we're going to do it for angles that are in standard position, whose terminal side lies on the x or y axis. So here's an example. Find the exact value of the sine of 3 pi over 2. Now what you notice here is that I'm not giving you a point that the terminal side goes through, but we could still draw a picture and figure this out. So if there's the x and y axis, and we want to do the sine of 3 pi over 2, remember that is all the way to here. That would be 3 pi over 2. So the terminal side is right here on the x-axis for that particular angle. By the way, if you forget what 3 pi over 2 is, you can always change that to degrees. Remember, pi is just 180, so 3 pi over 2 is really the same as 3 times 180 degrees over 2, and then that would give you 270 degrees. So this angle here, 270 degrees, 3 pi over 2 is the same thing. All right, so the question is, well, what's a point on this terminal side? Well, there are infinitely many points there, right? Like, on the y-axis. So you could choose any point you want. And I like to choose an easy point, like how about 0, -1? Somebody else might decide to choose 0, -2. And I'll show you how it doesn't matter which one we choose. So let's get back to this. Let's choose 0, -1. So the x value would be 0, and the y value is -1. So x is 0, y is -1. And remember, we have to get r. Well, you could do the square root of x squared plus y squared, or you could simply say, how far is it from the origin to this point 0, -1? And that's really just one space. So that's an easy way to see it. It's just one space. But if that doesn't make sense to you, you of course could say that r equals the square root of x squared, which is 0, plus y squared, which is 1, and of course the square root of 1 is 1. So here are our 3 values. So now we need to get the sine. So the sine of 3 pi over 2, now remember, what's the ratio for sine? It's y over r. So in this case, it's -1 over 1, which is -1. So -1 is the exact value of the sine of 3 pi over 2. Now I said you could pick a different point. You could pick 0, -2 instead. So what would have happened if I would have picked 0, -2? All right, so that means our value of x is 0, y is -2, and what's r in this case? In other words, let's see, how far is it from the origin to 0, -2? How far is this distance here? And that's just 2 spaces. So again, to figure out the sine of 3 pi over 2, we do y over r. So we would do -2 over 2, which gives us -1 again. So my suggestion is to always choose the point either, there's going to be 4 places that are possible if it lies on an axis. So if it lied on the x-axis on the right-hand side, I would choose 1, 0. If it was on the y-axis on the positive side, I would choose 0, 1. Over here on the x-axis on the negative side, I would choose -1, 0, and 0, -1. Just to make things simple, if you always choose 1 unit to the right, then r will always be 1. But this is to show you don't have to do it that way. So let's do another problem now. All right, we're going to find the exact value of the tangent of 90 degrees. All right, so 90 degrees, let's just draw that picture. Right, that's 90 degrees. And so we pick anything on the y-axis, so I'm going to choose the point 0, 1. So then x is 0 and y is 1, and r will be 1, right? Because it's just one space from 0 to that point 0, 1. And the ratio for the tangent is y over x. So what happens here? I have 1 over 0. Well, that is not defined, 1 divided by 0. So we say that the tangent of 90 degrees is not defined. Actually, to make it simpler, we'll just say it's undefined. Okay? Don't leave it as 1 over 0. Don't say that it's 0. Don't say that it's 1. Anytime you have a 0 in the denominator, it's undefined. So the tangent of 90 degrees is undefined. All right, let's find the exact value of the cosine of negative pi. So I'll draw a picture again. And we want to do negative pi, so that's the same as negative 180 degrees. It's this way. So we may as well choose the point -1, 0. So x is -1, y is 0, and r is 1. And so the definition of cosine is x over r. So we have -1 over 1, which is -1. So we'll do some more problems on the next video. This is your Math Gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic.